So it's not too late to change your mind. The real date was never part of the agreement.
Well, I am having second thoughts, but only about my shoes, because apparently they were not made for walking. So I apologize in advance if I seem distracted. I'm just trying not to fall on my face.
Well, fortunately, gambling requires very little walking, so
Yeah.
we're okay.
Especially in an abandoned casino.
Yeah, right? Hey, closed for a private party or what?
Closed indefinitely.
No, just until Luke gets back.
Like I said.
Then we will be having a grand reopening with all the booze and blackjack you can handle.
If you're not out of business before then.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, Luke is not going to be in a hurry to come home and face Tracy's wrath.
I tried telling him that.
No, you should listen, because it could be months.
I happen to have faith. I'm quite confident Luke will return very shortly.
God, not that Ethan has any way of knowing. His hope is solely based on the fact that these arrived today.
What, wine?
Oh, no. A very, very expensive case of wine shipped from France addressed to a Spanky Buns Spencer. Now, I doubt Luke is going to want to leave prime booze laying around. He'll want to imbibe.
Hi. Luke sent you a gift.
If it's anything other than a box of tissues and a bag of cough drops, I don't want it.
Tracy, it's a peace offering. Luke's trying to make things right.
Luke never does anything from the goodness of his heart. There has to be a catch. Even on our honeymoon, Luke had an agenda. Instead of walking hand in hand down the Charles Bridge, Luke dragged me all over Prague for a jewel heist.
Yes, some would call that multitasking.
Someone would call this a bribe. And if Luke thinks wine is going to get me to have a change of heart, he's sorely mistaken.
Okay, let's not be hasty. These are $2,000 bottles of wine.
It's actually $3,000.
Regardless of the price, this is not a bribe.
That's easy for you to say. It's not your money.
Luke has no need to bribe you. Okay, he's already made other arrangements to move the jewels.
How would you know that?
Luke contacted Maxie about signing for a high-end shipment of costume jewelry. Okay, yeah, he said it was some new business venture, so I convinced her to go along with the plan.
Sounds like Luke.
No, wait a minute. If something goes wrong, then Maxie is responsible for the smuggling.
No. See, that's the beauty of the plan. All Maxie has to do is sign for a shipment, which is something she does countless times a day. So if customs closes in, there's no way to prove that she had prior knowledge of what the shipment actually contained.
Okay, how long have you had prior knowledge? I'm saying a heads up would have been nice.
There are certain unspoken rules when a con is in progress, one of which I just broke to pave the way for a reconciliation, so I do hope you're not too hard on Luke when he gets back.
I know my husband all too well, and he can smuggle. Just as long as he doesn't use me as his mule. Pardon me.
She took that well.
Yeah, too well.
You know, I don't even know why I'm surprised. I mean, this is standard operating procedure for Spencer men.
Well, Tracy went into this marriage with her eyes wide open. She knew exactly what she was going to get.
I'm talking about you. How did you manage to get Maxie back on board with the plan?
Oh, are we jealous?
All right, Granny. So is this the part where you throw this big fit and you pretend to be mad at Luke? And...
First of all, do not call me Granny.
Hello, family.
You're back.
Told you.
Slow night. You didn't grease the palm of the gaming commissioner?
I was waiting for your return to reopen. I figured when your shipment arrived, you wouldn't be far behind.
Wifey. Did you miss me?
So much. Wait, no kisses. I got a bad cold. Give me a hug.
Baby.
Oh, it's so
Well, I guess sometimes love does trump outrage.
I figured the next time I was going to see you, there were going to be prison bars between us. Thank you so much for leaving me out of your most recent scheme.
You're so welcome. Good to see you.
You know, marriage is all about trust and understanding. You should take notes.
This calls for a celebration. Where's the wine?
It's safe in the back.
Good. I'll take this and store it with the others, and then we'll crack open a few bottles and have a toast.
Don't bother looking for the jewels. I already found them. Looking for these?
What happened to the other deal where Maxie was going to sign for the costume jewelry?
That was our decoy.
That was really nicely done, Spank. I love it when you hold my jewels. Now hand them over.
Not a chance. I'm going to consider them a down payment on the $10 million you still owe me.
Hey, they are worth a hell of a lot more than $10 million.
Good to know, because I'm going to add to it all the money you've pilfered over the years, the pain and suffering, and I think we'll call it even, which means that you and I get to start our marriage off on equal footing. Ooh, that must be so liberating for you.
I went to a hell of a lot of trouble to get my hands on those. And I've had my eye on them for months.
I'm thrilled, because they're mine. All mine.
Tracy Quartermain, you're under arrest for jewel smuggling.
I know what you're gonna.
Ow, 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 ow.
Mac, wait, look, my granny's not a thief. She's
Stop calling me Granny.
Wait, I'm just trying to help.
You're not.
Okay, we have to do something.
Luke can explain everything.
I'm sure he can, only I'm not interested in hearing it.
Bubba, how can you do this? I thought you had a heart. How can you come to our wedding and dance and drink and have a good time and wish us well and then drag my bride off like this?
Luke, I'm executing a warrant for Interpol, all right? You got a problem with it, take it up with them.
I have done nothing wrong, aside from marrying him.
Right.
Jewels were stolen during your stay in Prague.
Prague? Prague's full of tourists and criminals of all kinds. There's a lot of people over there that could have stolen those jewels.
Luke's right. I mean, don't you need proof to arrest her first?
A case of wine was ordered by Tracy and delivered to the Haunted Star, of which she is sole owner. And there she is, in possession of all the jewels. That's more than reasonable doubt.
Okay, would you do me a favor and add murder to the list of charges? Because I'm going to kill my husband.
Oh, she's kidding. I think, but listen, we could just sit down maybe and have a glass of wine and talk this over.
What are you talking about? We're not talking about shoplifting a scarf. This is $18 million plus worth of jewels.
Well, that is a $3,000 bottle of wine, if that makes any difference.
Better call your wife a lawyer.
You're a lawyer, honey.
Damn you, Luke Spencer. Get your hands off of me!